Hey, how's it going, everybody? Today I want to go through something really important to ecom brands, and it's the best Facebook ad strategy that we know that we've used to achieve anywhere between 5 and at some points 20x ROI on our Facebook ads. Our business, for those of you who don't know us, we started an e-commerce brand in cold pressed juice. We now turn over an average of 500k a month, and I'm just here to share some value. If you want to get some extra help, link below, Facebook group, jump in and have a look and we can have a chat. So let's jump into it. So we started running Facebook ads probably back in 2015 when we essentially did not know anything about a lot of things, particularly Facebook ads. And we were probably like a lot of people who just start their businesses, experimenting with a lot of things. So we decided to boost a post. We grabbed a post that we thought had good engagement on it. We threw some money behind it, just did it on our mobiles, and hope for the best, basically. When we kind of just left this basically at $20 a day and didn't really understand what was happening, what metrics were happening, what was achieving what, we were pretty much focused on other areas of the business and kind of wrote that off as something we didn't need to worry about. We never really looked at it. Anyway, when we got a little bit more serious about Facebook ads, I dare say about 12 months later, and I was actually running it for our own business, started doing that, we discovered that this ad was actually generating some pretty good results. Whilst we didn't have the intent or the visual of the KPIs or metrics up front, we could see in the back end through Business Manager, that this was actually delivering ridiculous results. Like I'm talking, 15 to 18x on our ad spend. And so this gave me a bit of motivation and inspiration to try and work out how to do it a lot better. And since then, 7 years on, my experience is really extensive, and I've actually worked with a lot of other businesses helping them with their Facebook ads as well. So this is the summary of what we've got. And it comes down to a couple of really important things. The first thing is simplicity. Really simplifying your ad structure and the structure within those ads, so the ads themselves, to understand firstly what's actually transpiring with those ads, and secondly to actually control what's happening with those ads. Some of the worst Facebook ad accounts that I've seen are it's an absolute mess. You can't make one thing from the next. You can't see what's driving what's actually interacting with what on an actual structural level. And then when you look at the actual ads themselves, you can't actually see what's even going on, what the intent is behind it. And that's either overcomplicating the process or having no idea what you're actually doing. So the first thing is simplicity. Simplicity with how the campaigns are set up, how the audiences are set up, and then the actual ads. Okay, so there's been many changes over the journey, and obviously over the last few months, particularly with Facebook removing interests, removing certain abilities such as breakdowns and things like that. It's actually forced us to be a lot more simple and a lot more broad. And so simplicity comes into it, as I say, from those two areas. So for an example, with our personal campaigns, we separate them out in basically 4 ways. So we've got our top of funnel, our cold audiences, our middle of funnel, our warmer audiences, or win back type audiences, and our bottom of funnel. And then our fourth one is actually lead generation. Like that's it. Literally, that's it. We have those 4 categories. That's how simple it is. And then obviously we have our audiences within those categories. So for our top of funnel, we obviously keep them purely cold audiences. What we've found to be working best now that we've got a bit of data, a lot of data on our pixel, but even from the get-go and with other clients' accounts who are still doing 5 to 10x themselves, broader audiences are working the best. Facebook likes to have enough rope to be able to use its algorithm to the best of its ability about what you're trying to achieve and who you're trying to target. So broad audiences being literally broad. For us, it's geographical. For our brand targets females. We have a few male customers, but 80%, 90% are females within the geographic location. And then we leave the target age range out. So as broad as that, that's how it works. For us, that works really well because it is geographically constrained. And I'll probably recommend that to those who are in a similar position. Even if it is state or country wide, you can afford to use a broad targeting to give Facebook the ability to go after anybody it sees fit for your brand. It's got so much intelligence, we can never kind of outsmart the algorithm. If anybody tells you any different, they're lying. So that's one big audience we use, is broad. The second one we use is lookalikes. So after you've got enough intelligence on your pixel or you've got enough people on your database, use lookalike audiences to the best of your ability. And the way that lookalike audiences work is essentially you have a seed audience, being the purchasers, or in this case, let's call it, our database, our purchasers database. The quality of the lookalike audience is going to be only as good as the quality of that seed. So, the difference between having a lookalike audience off of purchasers versus those who visited your website is going to be quite large. The strongest affinity to our customers are our own customers. So we use that really, really powerfully. And what we do with that, what we've most recently done with that, is actually go from a 0 to 1% lookalike, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 10%. So that means as you get further away from 0, that's broadening the audience even more. So 10% is quite a broad lookalike audience. We basically split test those lookalikes against one another. We can manipulate, the budgets between themselves. But again, we've found value in each one of those audiences on any respective week. So that's basically what we use for our top of funnel. We've got so much data, we don't necessarily do interests anymore. If we were, and when we did, health and wellness. Like, that was as narrow as we actually got. We're a cold pressed juice business. We supply juices to healthy, well people, or people who want to and have interest in that. And that was as narrow as our targeting actually went. So my recommendation, top of funnel, keep it broad. That's exactly what it is. Have, depending on your budget, definitely more than one audience, but maybe possibly around 3. And as your budget increases, you can expand that to as many as you like. Our middle of funnel, we don't have as much emphasis on that. They are ones that basically aren't engaged in the last, call it 90 days, but possibly within the last 180. So within the last kind of 6 months, but not in the last 3. So the returns on those are a lot less because they've seen you, they know about you, but they're just not engaged anymore. But what we basically do is set up a very simple ad, as I say, like a bit of a win back, where it might be a discount code, it might just be reiterating doing the experience again or purchasing again or a gift for somebody else. So very straightforward, but we don't put a whole lot of our budget into that. The third one is obviously the bottom of funnel. So that's going to be our warmest audience. Depending on your buying cycle, we do or don't exclude. To be honest with you, we do like a 30 days website visit and Facebook and Instagram engaged. That's like our one audience there. And we don't exclude people who have purchased in the last 7 days or 30 days. This is a bit of a hack for us, where we actually leave out any exclusions of those who have purchased or are engaged with us. And this has been really, really important for us. This is a great hack that I recommend that you implement yourself. Remove any exclusions, because what we've found is that those who have purchased either really recently or have purchased, previously in general, will see the ads and they'll engage with them. So they'll like them, they'll comment on them, they'll say things like, I've just ordered, I can't wait for my cleanse, or I ordered last week, I completed my cleanse and I feel great. And this has been awesome for our engagement. And the thing that Facebook loves the most is engagement, user experience enhanced. That's when it will favor you. That's when it will work harder for you. And so this was one of the best things that we used for our bottom of funnel, was just to leave out any exclusions. Send it to your current customers even. Get that social proofing up and use the same ads to send out to the market, because it's a social platform. People want to see engagement. They want to see other people having great experiences. A real benefit for us and for you, if you're a really genuine brand that gets results in any industry that you're actually in, people will want to talk about it. So use that to your advantage. Don't exclude them. Send them to your customers. Get as much social proofing as you actually can. So that's our basic bottom of funnel. We literally just keep it as simple as that. Engaged, last 30 days, Facebook, Instagram, website. You can throw in even a database as like a secondary, call it again a win back. You can segment your database if you want to get a little bit more complicated by using those that have purchased, just once, for example, and you want to get them, back on to purchase again. There's other strategies depending on your business, but that's the really basic structure. And for all of these campaigns, all of them, they are conversions to purchase, firing the event of purchase. We've tested everything, every which way, even like the bottom of funnel. This question came up the other day where it was like, should my bottom of funnel be a traffic or conversions campaign? My answer was, honestly, we've tested it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, but we default to conversions to purchase because it's the same audience, can have basically the same people. The CPMs are the same, the cost, obviously. So don't stress about that. Purchase, conversions, always. Conversions, purchase. And then the fourth campaign is a lead generation campaign. So we currently have a lead magnet that people sign up to get a free cleanse guide, and that obviously gets them on our database. That actually generates sales for us. Like we can see that within our ads manager. That's not the intent. The intent is to obviously build up, get the person's contact and be able to email market to them. However, we are happy to see sales come through. It obviously means that we're giving information away for free. They get a bit of a warm up to what we're about and who we are, and then they go and purchase. So that's it's just a bonus. But the idea here is, as I say, to build up your database. So we're paying, I think our leads are a little bit more expensive than what I've seen on other clients of ours, but ours are between say $3 and $4 per lead, but it's not unusual. And as I say, we have clients in this realm where it's basically anywhere from 50 cents to $2 per lead, right? And if they eventually purchase at some stage down the line, then that's money well spent. So we do use lead forms for that. We use a lead form that pops up within Facebook, and then that gets put into our CRM and they get sent an automated email. That's exactly how it works. We use Klaviyo in this sense. Other clients of ours just simply do a lead form where it's, hey, sign up for VIP offers and exclusive discounts. That's the one that gets the cheaper leads through, and hopefully they get extracted around sales times or whenever they want to try it for the first time. Both work really, really well. So they're the 4 campaigns that we actually adopt. And what I really want you to take from this is that the way we've been able to generate such high returns is from the simplicity of how we're actually laid it out. The more complex, the more narrow you kind of get, the worse off you're going to be. We've seen this time and time again. And so, especially with, as I say, the changes of iOS and Facebook changing, taking it, removing interest and all that sort of thing, all the advice from them is saying broaden the audiences, get less targeted. Back in the day, that used to be your advantage. That used to be the key skill. But as I say, from our experience, we've been getting 10x for years. We used to get 20x before iOS 14, I'll say that much. And spending, thousands and thousands, we've generated almost over $2 million from Facebook alone, that this is what's worked best for us. So that's my recommendation. Simplicity, keep it simple, keep your ads simple, show a lot of your product and demonstrations and user-generated content. And that's probably a good point on the actual content side of things of your ads. What we've found to work best is definitely influencer UGC. Right. Again, same thing with the comments. People want to see people using the products. So either get permission or have prior permission to use influencer and UGC. We've never had problems with that. And if it has, someone tells us and we simply remove it or we work out an arrangement with them. But that's the best thing to be able to do to leverage that. As I say, people want to relate to people. They want to see it. They also love to see our product. Our best image is something like our cleansers in an actual fridge. And so again, that's relatable. So I just grabbed my iPhone, took it along the image of the cleanse in the fridge and the beautiful, colorful fridge, and that performs the best. Another great one is unpacking, the product. People love to see that, what the experience is going to be like. And so going back to, simplicity with the structure, simplicity in your content is what works the best for us. this has worked consistently well, and it has worked for our clients as well. And so that's my recommendation. If you can take one really good nugget from this video, it's simplicity is key in structure and in content. And so I really hope that does help. Feel free to ask me any questions off the back of this, but yeah, that's the best way to get results coming from a 7-figure ecom brand about how to run your Facebook ads. So hopefully it helps. See you next time.